today. Everyone turn to 276 in your book. Joe's almost there, Brian's ready. Good job, Will. Great. You have some blank space at the bottom of the page. I want you to review real quick. What are the three components of a complete sentence or an independent clause? Everybody jot those down first. Pencil's moving, fantastic. This is a quick review. Raise your hand and tell me so I can put it on the board and we'll remember it for the rest of class. What are the three components of an independent clause? Brian.
Subject.
Subject. Will, what's another thing?
Predicate.
Predicate. What's the predicate?
It's a verb.
It's the verb. Very nice. Joe, what's the last thing?
A complete thought?
A complete thought. Very nice. So my test for that is if you said your sentence to a friend at the lunch table, it would make sense, right? I wouldn't say because this weekend, or I wouldn't say this is, and just stop. That doesn't make sense.
Sure.
Great, that's our review. We're talking about comma rules though. So when we have more than one complete sentence or more than one independent clause, there's a comma rule we need to use. So I've been texting and I decided I want to start making sure I punctuate my texts correctly. Will you read my example for me?
They each shot 40 basketballs in a minute, and each one of them scored 20 points.
Thank you. I want to look for the components of an independent clause to measure how many I have. Brian, what do you see?
They do have subject.
Okay, what's that subject? They? I'm going to go ahead and circle it. Please mark your paper up with me. Right now this is good practice to make sure we know all the components. What else do you see, Brian?
We have a verb. They shot basketballs.
Very nice. They each shot 40 basketballs in a minute. Is that a complete thought?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I got an independent clause. I'm going to put brackets around it. What else do you see, Joe?
So I see that there's a second part of that sentence
Okay.
that also has a subject.
Which is?
So each of them or each one of them.
Fantastic. So this whole thing could be considered the subject. Each one of them. And what are each one of them doing, Will?
Scored.
Scored. So that's our verb. Does that make sense? Each one of them scored 20 points. Could I say that to my friend at the lunch table? Great, we got an independent clause. So how many independent clauses do we have, Brian?
2.
1?
2.
Ah, everyone all together. How many?
2.
Thank you. So if I have 2 independent clauses, what's one thing we didn't mark up here? What did we forget or overlook? Well?
The and.
The and. Everyone put an arrow over and. What kind of word is and? Anyone remember? From your English class maybe a while ago? Will?
I call it a fanboy.
A fanboys! Look at you, ahead of the game. When we have 2 complete sentences, they're joined by a coordinating conjunction. We also call them a fanboys. A comma must come before the fanboys word. Where does the comma come, Joe?
Before the fanboys.
Where does it come, Brian?
Before.
Where does it come?
Before that.
Not after, right? Before. Beautiful. Fanboys words, everyone should be writing this down on your notes. Joe already did that. I see Brian and Laura catching up there. I'm pretty sure you've talked about fanboys in your English classes before. I don't know if you remember all of them, so we're going to review them right now. And this is not a new boy band, it's just a way to remember these funny words. Fanboys. Anyone know what the F stands for? Raise your hand. Will?
For.
Awesome. What about A? Joe?
And.
And, that's the one that we saw in this example. What about the N? Brian?
Nor.
Oh, you guys are on fire. B? Call it out.
But.
O?
Or.
Y?
Yet.
S?
So.
Okay, just for fun, we're going to say them all together. And I like to say them For and nor but or yet so. Here we go. For and nor but or yet so. For and nor but or yet so. You'll be singing it all day and you'll always see these words now. So going back then, what do I need to do to this sentence? These two sentences to make it accurate or grammatically correct. Yeah, well.
We need to add the comma before and.
Before and. Everyone go ahead and draw that comma in on your book. Fantastic. We've got more text messages to fix. Cleaning up the board. Will, can you read this while I finish erasing?
They had tied and now we're on to the next game.
Beautiful. What do I do first, Joe?
We have to find the subject.
Okay?
So they is the subject. And then we need a predicate as well, which would be had tied.
Okay. Now what, Brian?
Now we have to see if we have another independent clause.
Okay?
We have verb. We're on to the next game is like a predicate.
Okay.
And I know they're talking about they.
Okay.
I don't see it again.
So, is now the subject? Now we're on to the next game.
No, that's no.
Why not?
Because now is not a person to be on to the next game.
Yeah. It's not a person, place, or thing. Very good. All right, so how many clauses are we dealing with then?
I think we only have one
I think we
independent
only have
clause.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many subjects do we have, Will?
Just one,
How many verbs?
two,
But how many clauses?
one.
Just one, right? So like I could say Will sing and dance. Do you dance, Will?
Sure.
Sure, yeah, right? And I've got two different actions, but just one person doing the singing and the dancing. Similar thing here. I've got they, and they're tied, and they were on to the next game. What's my fanboys word that's here, Joe?
And
And. Is it actually behaving as a fanboys and joining two clauses right now? You're shaking your head no.
no.
So how do you think I fix this, Brian?
I guess you don't need the comma.
Don't need the comma. Let me take it out. Questions on that? Yes, Joe.
I have a question on the first text message.
Mm-hmm.
If I just wanted to say like my first independent clause was they each shot 40 basketballs, why wouldn't I be able to do that? Is it because then I just have this extra little stuff left over? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they each shot 40 basketballs is still a complete sentence. But is
So
the
you're
reason?
saying why don't I put the comma here?
Yeah, I guess what's like that in a minute part
Okay.
of it?
So in a minute is what we call a prepositional phrase.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just put parentheses around this. And they're modifiers. They tell us more about nouns and other things
Okay.
like that. So what's happening in a minute?
They're shooting the basketballs.
Yeah, so this needs to
Okay.
stay with that.
Okay.
So there's no comma here. And would it make sense to say in a minute and each one of them scored 20
Sure.
points? Because it's not talking about each doing something in a minute.
Okay.
Great clarifying question. Okay, but back to this. So we get rid of the comma. What would we have to do? Let me rephrase that. If I had we are, or we were, either one, how would that change things? If I get rid of were and I said now we, let's say we are, on to the next game. How does that change things? Will?
Well, now we have two different subjects, so we have two different independent clauses.
And what would we need?
We would still need the comma.
Very good. What would the new subject and verb be?
We are.
We are. This is making sense? Can I get a thumbs up? Medium? Awesome. Great. Let's see a multiple choice format, which I think we will have no problem with. You guys are doing a wonderful job. We're on page 277. Joe, read number 1 for me.
They have already completed their essay, so their teacher is busy correcting them.
Awesome. Everybody look for clauses. Look for clauses. When you've got one, raise your hand. Brian?
They have already completed their essay.
Very nice. Prove it to me. What's your subject? What's your verb in there?
We have a they as a subject again.
Okay.
Completed is a verb, have already completed.
Yeah, this whole thing is a giant verb phrase. Very nice. Someone else, do you see a clause? Will.
Their teacher is busy correcting them.
Okay. Prove that he's right, Joe. What's the subject? What's the verb?
Teacher is the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Is busy is the predicate, or is busy correcting them is the whole
Yeah.
predicate.
For me, I'm just gonna make it is as
Okay.
a simple verb for right now. Fantastic. So all together, how many clauses do we have, everybody?
2.
Great. What do we need to do then?
Find our fanboys word.
Okay. Raise your hand if you see one. Oh, all those hands. Awesome. Will. So. Cool. No change, right? Moving on?
No,
No.
Why not?
because we need the comma.
We need the comma after the so?
No, before this.
Before the so. Okay, so everyone, look at your answer choices. Circle the correct answer. We're gonna share out in a second, but A is gonna be 1, B is gonna be 2, C is gonna be 3, D is gonna be 4. So I want you to hide your answer, put a number behind your hand, and then when I say go, you'll take your mask away and show me what you've got. Ready, set, go. Woo! Perfect scores. C. Tell me why this is correct, Joe.
Because the comma is before the so.
Before the so. Very nice. Why is D wrong, Brian?
The comma's after, so.
It's after the so. What else is weird about this one?
There's another comma later on. I don't
Yeah.
know why that's there.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that yet. No. Very nice. Okay, number 2. Read it for us, Will.
We will start the performance at 8. He will not arrive until 9.
Fantastic. What do I do next?
We need to find our independent clauses.
Okay, what do you see, Brian?
Let's see, we will, subject and verb.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like an independent clause. We will start the performance at 8.
Okay.
And then we see he, which is a subject, and will, again, another verb.
Mm-hmm.
Will not arrive till 9, so it looks like another independent clause.
Okay, so how many clauses do we have, Joe?
2.
All right. What do we need now? Joe?
We need some sort of fanboys word to combine them.
Okay. What can I rule out, Will? What ones should I just cross off?
Definitely A
Definitely A.
and B too, because there's no fanboys.
Okay. So Brian, what do you think the correct answer is going to be?
I think it's going to be D,
Why?
because it has a comma and a fanboys.
Fantastic. Any questions? You guys are rocking and rolling. Turn the page. You're going to have 4 minutes to complete the next few questions.